What up, world? And welcome back to another episode of the Seeds of Success podcast. And today I'm coming on to just provide some encouragement to go do something that you think could potentially help you. And where this comes from is I am just got done with a Mastermind Summit here in sunny San Diego. And it was an amazing couple of days. And it was something that I was encouraged to do by my realtor down in Corvallis, Michael Krabzolowski. For anybody that has listened to some earlier episodes with real estate investing, Michael was the guest that I had on my show. He's a phenomenal person. And that is a good man who is highly driven to continuously get better for himself, for his clients, for his wife, and how he shows up in the world. And he's been going to this this conference that's called the Mastermind Summit from a company that he is associated with and does coaching with called Buffini and Company. Brian Buffini is the head and founder of the company, and he has an amazing story from an immigrant from Ireland coming to America with 92 bucks in his pocket, getting basically run over by a car in a motorcycle accident, being, I think, $250,000 in debt, something like that, with medical bills, and basically goes from, rags to riches, so to speak, and builds himself the American dream, if you will, of what you can do through hard work, through determination, through perseverance, through persistence, and all of the good characteristics that goes along with being successful on a day-to-day basis and having a successful life. And basically this is who the summit was, and why this is relevant to you is I'm not in real estate. This is a real estate company, and I think they would actually say that they are a coaching company first, but 95% of the people there were realtors because Brian made his name in the real estate industry. And I am not in real estate, but this was more so a personal development, self-development, show up and get better type of summit and conference, and get in and do work while you're in there. Ask yourself tough questions and force yourself to start writing down answers and then thinking through these things. And basically, I'm just so grateful for this decision because I booked the conference about like 6-7 months ago when Michael first told me about it, and I had not booked my flight until last week. And so then when the time came to actually book my flight, I was a little hesitant to do it because I waited too long. Flights went from like, $200 to $700 to fly from Seattle to San Diego, which is like absurd. And so I was like, gosh, should I really go to this thing? I'm not even in real estate. Is this going to be worth it? And it was worth every single penny because of the conversations that I had with people, because of the meaningful conversations that I've had with people. I'm staying with two of our best friends here in San Diego, Annie and Taylor. Shout out to both of you. And just the depth of the conversations we've had here in the home over these last 3 days has been amazing, and would not have had these conversations with them otherwise. And the conversations that I had with Michael, with other attendees, with my new friend Pushpa, who there's no coincidence that I spent all day yesterday in the middle and surrounded by two authors who have been super successful in their lives when you look at the things that they've done and accomplished. And I mean, Pushpa just came out with her book that I just ordered last night, and I'm excited to read it. But it's her book that she came out with in January, basically going through the traumatic experiences she has been through in her life. And we were able to dive into those. And, I'll be the first to tell her, and I was, that there is no way in chance I can relate to what you've been through, but I can just sit here and say that I'm grateful to know you. I'm grateful to have met you. I am inspired by your story, and you're going to impact a lot of people. And it's these types of summits, conferences, growth-oriented endeavors that can quite literally change our life forever. I walked away from the very first 2-hour segment of the conference with an undoubtedly knowing that this was such a great decision, because I was already feeling more grateful from some of the practices that we've been doing. Gratitude was a huge theme. The theme of the summit was bringing joy back into our journey. And that might sound catchy. It might sound, a little silly, but truth be told, how much joy do you have in your life right now when you look holistically at it? Are we just on autopilot going through our days? Are we in some mundane routines and rituals and same conversations, same actions, same habits? I know that I myself can be very susceptible to doing this and get in a good routine or get on autopilot, right? There was a stat that was read at this conference that 95% of the decisions that we make are what is the word? Are not unintentional, but are unconscious. Excuse me for butchering that one. 95% of the decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis are unconscious. Think about that. That means that 5% of the decisions we are making are intentional, right? And I know that we have, truth be told, like I think that it can be very helpful for our productivity and for achieving things over time to actually automate some of those decisions. And, like choosing your clothes the night before or the morning of, or deciding what shoes to put on, or, you already have your healthy food made up on that Sunday night. And so the decision's made. It's a unconscious decision. Like there are some that 100% I do think that is extremely valuable to have some of those on autopilot. But it was very enlightening to realize that, wow, I do not want to just go through life and go through the motions. And I pride myself on traveling, on doing spur of the moment, spontaneous things, on getting out and trying to adventure as much as I can. Hence, here we are in San Diego at Annie and Taylor's kitchen table right here, trying to record this episode to get it out to you all, because I think that we thrive when we can take ourselves out of our natural environments too. We force ourselves to be adaptable. We force ourselves into conversations that we would have never had otherwise. We force ourselves to go meet hands, shake people. I got back into my old ways. Like before going into this conference, I was so excited just to go be around other people who intentionally decided they were going to go with the intention to better themselves, to provide better service to the world, to provide better service to their customers, their families, their spouses, their kids, humans. Like it was very refreshing. And it has been a very refreshing and hopeful couple of days. And I'm feeling very spiritually refreshed and rejuvenated. And getting back to my point that I was just trying to make is, before I walked into that conference day one, I set a goal for myself. I said, today I'm going to shake 5 hands at least, and I'm going to have 5 conversations with different people. And I just wanted to go meet and connect. This was something I used to do when I was out in the world and connecting with people. And it can be easy to get into our own little routines, working from home and not seeing people. And it's something that I'm walking away with is, I need people in my life. I want to be inspired by being around other people. I want to inspire other people as well. And I think that in order to have a real impact on people, like we also need to be around other people in this world. And so I think every time I met somebody, I would jot down their name in my phone. I would write some quick little facts about them. So then when I saw them throughout the next couple of days, I would have those points I've already remembered. I've written them down because I wanted to be intentional about that. I hit 7 on the first day. I was super excited. And it also forced me to get uncomfortable. I hadn't been to an event like this since pre-COVID. And for somebody that I think is, can be outspoken, I can at least appear like I'm super extroverted. Truth be told, some of this shit scares me. And walking up to somebody that I don't know and I'm not in real estate, whatever, like that can still be intimidating for me. And so it's a matter of me just doing the thing that I'm resisting, which I know is something that we talk about often, and practicing doing that. It's such a great opportunity these last couple of days to do that. And so, what else did we do? We had some journal prompts. What are the desires of your heart? If you knew that you couldn't fail, what would you do? How could that benefit others? How could that benefit yourself? some of the questions that we started answering on day one, some of the things that I am still thinking about to this day. And some of the powerfulness behind these questions is, we had like 20 minutes to answer these. So just jotting down anything that came to mind and just getting things on paper was the start. Now that seed has been planted, we're thinking. The wheels are turning, and these questions are continuing to be answered while I'm walking around the city, while I'm having dinner, while I'm in other conversations with people, while we're actively talking about these things. That's another nice thing about something like this is I'm a personal development junkie. You all know that. You all know that I love my self-dev and the Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar's, Earl Nightingale's, whatever. Like I embrace that. That's who I am. And it's nice going to something like this because these people are too. Because it can be one thing to go like this and then come back all, fired up and super energetic, and other people just doing their day to day are not in that same headspace. And so the fact that we can go and intentionally put ourselves in an environment where people are actively wanting to engage in these conversations, and they're in that headspace with you, it can help expedite your thought processes and gain new perspectives from people who are thinking about those same topics, just in different ways. And so just to, recapping it here, it was I'll give you 3 bullet points because Brian Buffini talks about how we can only remember in 3s. Maybe not only, maybe he doesn't say only, but we remember best in 3s. Easy, focus points. Keep things simple. 1, I love human connection, and I think that we need it to be our very best selves. Whether we like it or not is a different question, but I know that I personally thrive and am inspired when I'm around human connection. 2 is something like this can potentially change your life forever. Just this morning, I took one of the prompts from yesterday's session with Neil Pasricha, and I literally did it this morning. It was one of my journaling prompts, and that's something that I'll do another episode on. I don't want to spoil it here, but that alone right there, who knows how it'll potentially change my life forever, because I wrote those things down. Next thing you know, I'm having a conversation with Annie about it for 30 minutes here in the kitchen, and it was directly applicable. If that carries on for a week, a month, a year, a decade, who knows where life goes? It can literally change your life forever. And last thing is just being able to, not, I think conversations goes into the human connection piece, but putting yourself out there and doing things that are uncomfortable, you develop in these situations, you grow in these situations. It's an adventure that forces you to be adaptable, to be agile to growth, and we grow through this process. And I'm walking away from these last 3-4 days having more, having deep conversations, meaningful conversations, working on purpose, mission-driven life. And it's these 3 things that, these are just the ones top of mind for me right now, is the human connection. Your life could potentially be changed forever. And then, we're going to grow at things like this. And so I hope this message finds you well. If you're thinking about doing a course, doing, even just traveling to go somewhere, or switch things up, or go to the coffee shop to hear that speaker, or signing up for Toastmasters, or that is one thing that I'm absolutely doing. I've already reached out as of last night stemming from this. Like, your brain is just going to be rewired with these sorts of things. And I hope that you can go push purchase, go push publish, go push start, or put the shoes on, whatever it may be, to go and take action in something that you might be considering or think that could potentially change your life forever, because it very well can. And so I hope this message finds you well, and I appreciate y'all tuning in. Feels good to be back on this little USB mic here. Hey, I got a huge favor to ask. If you are enjoying this, of course, like 5-star ratings and reviews. Thank you for all 31 of you who have done this on Spotify. Thank you for everybody who has done this on Apple Podcasts and written reviews and taken time out of your day to even listen to this. Like, it still blows my mind how many people are continuing to listen find value. I appreciate each and every one of you. I can't thank each of you on this specifically. So just know that if you're listening to this, thank you. And I appreciate it. And if you could do me a huge favor and share this episode with somebody, that would mean the world to me. That will inherently allow this Seeds of Success podcast, this message, to potentially go reach tens and hundreds and thousands of more people. And perfect world, in a year, 2 years, I'm saying millions. And that is no joke. I am so dead serious when I say that. And if we could just share it with somebody, whether you're listening on Spotify, share it with somebody who listens on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or this YouTube video or wherever you're seeing this. If you could share it with a family member, a friend, somebody who might need this, somebody who might find value, or even just need to hear it, I would appreciate it so much. Let me know if you do. You can email me at colinwalters2322@gmail.com. You can text me at 253-571-8693. I appreciate and love you all. And I will see you on the next episode. Let's go.